How to model a soccer ball in Blender in the easiest way. I will show that in this video. Let's delete the cube in the scene first, because we won't be starting from this cube. I press the letter X on the keyboard and click the delete button. Let's add a new object. I click add and then I click on mesh. Let's select the option above the cylinder. This is our object. We will create a soccer ball from this object, and you will see that it can be created really easily. When you add this object, a small adjustment box will appear at the bottom left. I'm changing the subdivision from 2 to 1. After doing this, let's move on to the modifier. I click on the modifier tab and select bevel. When I activate bevel, we select the only vertices option among the options. When we check this, it will apply the bevel modifier only to the corners. Currently, applying modifier to edges as well. When we select the only vertices option, it will only apply it to the corners. I also convert the offset value to 0.35. When we do this edit, we will see that the object in the scene looks much more like a soccer ball. Let's click this button to cancel the lines in the scene. After doing this, I click the apply button. This modifier is now fully attached to the object. This means that we cannot edit the modifier afterwards. If you pay attention to the object, some of its faces are pentagonal and some are hexagonal. We will give black color to pentagonal faces. Hexagon's color will also be white. So let's start editing both of these materials. I click on the materials tab. I click the new button. By typing white here, I add a material with a base color being white. I will create a new material by clicking the plus button. I click the new button, define it as black and set the base color to be completely black. We currently have two materials available, black and white. Now let's press the tab key on the keyboard or click the object option and click on the edit mode and activate the face mode by pressing 3 on the keyboard again. Let's choose one of the pentagons on the ball. If it doesn't show as selected, it's because we turned off the overlay. We can turn this back on. We don't need to select other pentagons one by one. Similar to this polygon, we can automatically select other pentagons similar to this pentagon. I'm coming to the select part because I want to select other pentagons as well, because I want to select similar ones. I click on polygon sides under select similar. Thus, we have automatically selected other faces similar to the selected face. We choose our black material and click the assign button. When I switch to the render mode and deselect the face option, we see that the selected faces are covered with black material. Now let's select the hexagons in a similar way, and I choose polygon sides with select similar, so I automatically select the other hexagons and select the white material. I click the assign button. Now by pressing the letter A on the keyboard, I have all the faces on the ball selected. We'll have to give it a little extrude, because the balls have embossing at the seam points. I hold down the extrude icon on the left and select the extrude individual option. What will this do? It will extrude each face. This is how I will see it when I execute the process. We don't give too much. We need to give it similarly to a ball. I want to give about these settings. You can see how much this is here, as 0.04. Of course, we have to do this as a minus. Let's give it a value of minus 0.04. You can customize it for yourself. And I open that arrow on the right so we can see the transform panel. I changed the crease value to 1. Our intention is to give the edges a bit more softness. That's why I'm leaving edit mode and back to object mode. We will need to add one more modifier. I click on the modifier tab. I choose subdivision surface option in add modifier. I choose simple from these options because we don't want any corruption. And I change the subdivision values to 3 in both render and viewport. I add a modifier again to give these edges a little softer and a little more ovality. And this time we choose cast under deform. It started to soften a little more. It will be necessary to increase the factor value here to get some smoothing of the edges. Let's increase it manually. I change it to 0.9. And finally, I right click on the object. I choose the shade smooth option to make the square area smoother. As you can see, our soccer ball is ready. If you don't like the 0.9 value, you can change it to 0.95. You see the difference. You can also do values like 0.8. Decide on your own ball shape. And our soccer ball is ready. Yes, in this video, I showed you how to model a soccer ball using features in Blender. That's it for this video. I hope it was useful. See you in new videos.